Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to another MB regulation of Pokemon Champions. Let's see who we can get with our new recruit. Whoa! It's the first shiny. It's my first shiny. Let's see if the first shiny will be good luck. Alright, so we are rocking with the same Charizard Y Mega Staraptor team. Just quickly looking at their team, looks like it has potential to be a Sun team. Now, there are 3-4 Pokemon right away that can get hit with a close combat. So definitely thinking about bringing Staraptor, just because that Arcanine may pose a threat, and then Charizard may pose a threat, the opposing Charizard that is, to Venusaur. So maybe the Venusaur Charizard lead might not work here. I'm thinking this one definitely might be a good one to bring Staraptor. Get it, let's get it. Alright, we are both on win streaks. I have a 4-win streak, and the opponent has a 2-win streak. So they're leading Garchomp Charizard. Definitely Earthquake potential here, but I do get an Intimidate off with my Staraptor Milotic. So, thinking about Mega Evolving right away, and Garchomp can get hit with this close combat and Icy Wind combo for speed control. Here is the Mega Staraptor. And the opponent has Mega Charizard Y. So that means they have a Sun team. So a critical hit with the close combat is enough to take the Garchomp down. So Charizard goes Solar Beam onto Milotic. Does a good bit of damage here, bringing Milotic down to 70 hit points. And in comes the King Gambit. So definitely don't see any reason I couldn't go for another close combat into King Gambit, and this kind of just shows you how quickly things can get out of hand with Staraptor. So that is now +2 on both of my defense and special defense. And this puts the opponent in a really tough spot here. Heat Wave still does decent damage on the Staraptor. And Milotic can just sit here and recover. And that is enough to get a big dub. Stay tuned for the next battle. So, opponent has an interesting team here. Seems to be no weather setters, but definitely a couple potential megas. They have the potential Mega Scizor, potential Mega Absol, and of course the potential Mega Ampharos. So honestly, Scizor kind of forces me to bring Charizard here, and then Venusaur obviously for coverage, and then Milotic Sneasler. Alright, so my 5-win streak here is being challenged by the opponent's Milotic and Ampharos. So definitely right away I'm thinking Mega Ampharos. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and test an Earth Power here. And then obviously I'm going to Mega Charizard. Now I know that they're definitely probably going to Mega here. I'm actually okay as long as I put damage into Milotic with sacking Charizard to potential electric move. Reason I went for more of an aggressive start here instead of just clicking Protect as I Mega Evolve Charizard is to prevent any stalling that the opponent can do. Here is Mega Ampharos. Just because I know Mega Ampharos is part Dragon, and then of course it could also has access to Cotton Guard, which raises defenses. So it's just trying to avoid any stalling that they can do. Earth Power only does about 35%. It's going to be about a 3-hit KO, and then Solar Beam brings Milotic down to 24%. Citrus Berry restores it almost a half, and then Milotic goes for Speed Control, Icy Wind here. That definitely hurts this team, and Ampharos is going to go ahead and take Charizard out with Thunderbolt. So I'm thinking here, my Venusaur still probably outspeeds, even with a speed drop, just because it does have Chlorophyll on the Sun, and then Sneasler here can get off a Fake Out. At this point, I'm not quite sure what Ampharos is going to do. I just know that it's definitely a threat to Milotic, so I have to get it off the field. A big thinker over here. My opponent is a big thinker. So Fake Out into the Milotic, just take a little bit more damage out. And then Earth Power into Ampharos, 19% left, almost enough to take it out. And then Ampharos is going to go Thunderbolt into Sneasler. Does a lot of damage there. Bring Sneasler down to 38. And then I go close combat here. Just definitely want to take out Milotic, and then I do have a White Herb, so I'm not too concerned about the stat drop. So while my opponent is thinking, I found it kind of interesting in this battle because my opponent chose to leave Venusaur kind of on an island, which actually was the Pokemon to be able to take out the Mega Ampharos, which was huge. Alright, so basically that was almost a free turn because I was able to knock out both of their Pokemon. White Herb prevents any stat drop while activating my speed boost. So, my opponent is deciding what side to send them out on. It is Scizor, which is quite unfortunate that my Charizard is fainted, and Sylveon. So at this point in the battle, my opponent has two Pokemon. I have about 2.5 left. Sneasler has a little bit of health. I am predicting Scizor to go Bullet Punch here, try to take Sneasler out, so I'm going to go ahead and protect. So Sneasler goes protect, predicting a Bullet Punch from the Scizor. Actually, Sylveon says there's 2 poison types over there. Probably you're going to try to attack me. Scizor goes Bullet Punch to Venusaur. Actually does a good bit of health here. Sludge Bomb onto Sylveon does not hit. And then I was curious as to which one the Scizor would Bullet Punch. I'm going to go ahead and switch here, predicting a Bullet Punch into Sneasler. Alright, so in comes my Milotic. So Sylveon actually goes Quick Attack, which is very move, but gets bombed by a Sludge Bomb with the poison, which is actually huge. Scizor actually goes Swords Dance, so this thing is now a huge threat. Alright, so Sylveon down to 25%. I'm definitely thinking that Scizor is going to go Venusaur here, take him out. I'm going to try to get a burn off on the Scizor, because that's probably one of the only ways I'm going to be able to stop him at this point. He has a Swords Dance up, Sneaser's in range, Venusaur's in range. It's going to take a couple on Milotic, but definitely has potential here. Alright, so in comes the Bullet Punch. Is enough to take Venusaur out. Venusaur definitely put in work this game, so he was huge. And the Scald connects to Scizor. Does not get the burn. Sylveon does get a Hyper Voice off, which does tons of damage. With lefties, Milotic's back over half. And then I'm thinking I definitely have to get a Fake Out off on Scizor. He's become very dangerous at this point in the game. And then there's a couple options here. I could just let the poison take out Sylveon, or I could take out Sylveon. Alright, so Fake Out into Scizor causes him to flinch. And then Scald connects with Sylveon, taking Sylveon out to prevent any Hyper Voices it could have. So all of a sudden, it just kind of became a little bit more winnable of a battle. I'm predicting a Bullet Punch onto Sneasler. So definitely going to hit up Protect. And I predicted correctly. So Scizor is going to take another Scald here. If he gets burned, this is just about over. He does not, but I do restore a little bit of health with lefties. So I'm going to go ahead and just go for the double attack here. Not much Scizor can do, except for hit one of us with a Bullet Punch. And Bullet Punch is enough to take Sneasler out. So Milotic has kind of been carrying the team here, and it is enough to take Scizor out. So a good game here from my opponent. This definitely goes to show you never underestimate Milotic. If you like this content, please leave a like. Please let me know in the comments what Pokemon you want me to use in the next video. I could potentially pop out with a new team eventually. So that is enough to get us to 6 wins. Leave a like for that, come on. And then subscribe if you are new. See you guys next time.